So, one more quick video, guys. I think this will be the last one for today, and then I'll see you again tomorrow. But I speak a lot about the inexpensive nature of the diet. Now, can you do this diet on a huge budget? Can you do ribeyes? Can you do porterhouses or T-bones? Absolutely. And would I love to do that? Absolutely. But for me and for a lot of people out there, it's just not realistic. So, one, because of my budget and my responsibilities with my family and, paying my bills and doing all those things, I live in a humble apartment. I don't own a home. I make a decent salary. I'm not rich. I have to go to work every day. I got to show up to my job. I got to earn every penny that I can. I'm lucky that my job provides some niceties. I get to drive a decent car. I get to do some stuff with the family. I get to enjoy some time out of the house. But, every penny is watched very carefully. So that being said, I spoke earlier on a video that I'm sure is still downloading at this point, but by the time this goes up, I'm sure it'll be up. I do my diet on $80 for 2 weeks, and this is how I do it. This is 10 pounds of ground beef from Walmart. Okay? This is, if you look here, it's 73% lean, 27% fat, minimally processed, no artificial ingredients. I'll be honest with you, that is the first time I read any of this. I just know that this is $40 and it has a higher fat content, and that's what I wanted. 10 pounds, 160 ounces. And like I said, when I first started doing this, it was $32. Now it's $39 and I think some change. So it's just under $40. I get 2 of them, and that gets me through 2 weeks and maybe a couple of days. And I eat about that much in a sitting. I'll cut that much off. That'll be my breakfast. And then when I go to work, I'll cut about that much off, give or take, sometimes less, sometimes a little more. And that'll be my dinner when I get to work. Another thing I spoke about, I hope it's, I actually got rid of it. I had to buy a small carton of eggs yesterday because we're going food shopping later in the week. I just needed a few eggs to get through the week. But I normally buy a 60 count box of eggs from Walmart as well. So if I buy the 2 slabs of beef, two of these, that's $40, and the eggs, there's 60 eggs for $30. But if I'm being honest, I don't eat a lot of eggs. When I do eat them, I eat plenty of them. I'll eat 6 or 8 or 10 at a time. But it's not every day. It's probably not even every week. I pretty much survive off of just beef. I've always said my goal is to be lion. I just enjoy eggs. So I have an egg every once in a while. And if I'm being honest, it's part of the diet. My body responds well to them, except for making me a little gassy. So I do enjoy them. But I have to have them in the house. My son enjoys them. My girlfriend enjoys them. And they fall into our lifestyle as far as everybody's trying to do. If not completely carnivore, or if not full-time carnivore, when they do step into it, they have these things available. So that's why I keep the eggs in the house. To be honest with you, I could do without them. When I'm in the mood for them, the few times that I am, I could eat some beef and be perfectly happy. As far as the budget, $40 gets me through a week, and then I buy 2 at a time, so it's $80. That gets me through 2 weeks. With taxes, it's probably just a little over $80. Let me know if you find a cheaper way to eat. I can't find one. And, the cost is a big part of it, but the nutritional value is even bigger. And the beef, although this is not grass-fed, grass-finished, or organic, or any of that stuff, it has the nutrients my body needs. My blood work comes back pretty much perfect, and because all doctors want to talk to me about cholesterol, and my cholesterol is not high to my way of thinking. My triglycerides are great. So as far as I'm concerned, my blood work is perfect. I feel incredible. I'm healthier than I've been in decades, and you see my workout routines. They're not the hardest routines out there, but they're not easy, and I'm not falling apart doing them. I feel incredible. My energy is incredible. So if you're sitting home saying that this diet is too expensive for you, well, I disagree. If you're sitting home and saying that it's not all it's hyped up to be, well, do what I did. Try it for 90 days. Prove me wrong. You try it for 90 days and you prove me wrong, make a YouTube video. You know, I'm sure a million people would love to click on a video that says carnivore didn't work. You know, there's plenty of people out there trying to dismiss this way of eating as it is. So try it for 90 days. Put your money where your mouth is. If it doesn't make you feel better, if it doesn't make you feel optimal, if it doesn't motivate you, if you don't lose weight, if you don't get healthier, make a YouTube video, start a channel. You have gold there. As for me, that was my intention when I started. Unfortunately, it worked for me, and I feel incredible. So all I can do is brag about it. So I don't get my million subscribers out of the gate. But at this point, you know, it's not about that anymore. It's about my personal journey. It's about my family. It's about my loved ones. And it's about my health. And hopefully, with any luck, I motivate some of y'all along the way. So, if you're interested, stop making. I'm sure you can come up with $80 out of your budget for 2 weeks, or $40 for a week. Eat when you're hungry. Don't eat again. Eat until you're full, and don't eat again until you're hungry. That's the trick. The caveat to that is, I had horrible eating habits. So, if you find yourself having diarrhea, I'm not talking about the first couple weeks. That's kind of normal. I'm talking about long term. I had diarrhea on and off for over a year. You're probably still misjudging your hunger signals, and you're eating too much. Too much. I know of. I started with ribeye. I started with chuck steak. All those gave me diarrhea because I was eating way too much. So pay attention to it. Make sure that you know your hunger signals. If you don't, test yourself. Eat a little less. See if you can get through the day. See when you get hungry again. And then if you can eat a little less, eat a little less. And find where your balance is. Find where, like homeostasis, where at this level, you can eat every whenever your schedule permits. And when you get to that level, when you get to the point where you have the ability to sit down and have a meal again, you're actually hungry. So, there's 10 cents worth of advice, and I'm giving it to you for free, so you already saved 10 cents. Alright everybody, stay healthy, stop making excuses. There's an inexpensive way to do this, and I'm doing it every day. I've been eating nothing but ground beef with the occasional steak to treat myself for the better part of 7 months, if not longer. Alright y'all, stay healthy, try to stay motivated, and try to be active. I'll see you soon.